The typical residential garden is laid out in rows. The SeedSprout robot is designed to optimally work in that type of garden. The SeedSprout robot has two DC motors which control the wheels, a 9-volt battery to supply power, an IR remote and receiver, two hobby gear motors to control the seeding and fertilizing discs, two servos to control the seeding and fertilizing lids, a servo to control the soil sampling shovel, and an ultrasonic distance sensor to control the turning of the robot. The SeedSprout robot has four distinct functions: moving the robot to the desired starting position, seeding, fertilizing, and taking soil samples. The first function is to move the robot to the desired starting position in the correct row. The operator will control the movement of the robot using the buttons on the IR remote. Button 1 will make the robot move straight forward. Button number 2 will make it move backwards. Button number 3 will make it turn to the left by moving the wheels in opposite directions, and button number 4 will make it turn to the right. Button 0 will stop the movement of the robot. The second function of the robot is seating. Once the robot is positioned in the correct row, the operator will press the number 5 button to start the seating operation. First, the robot will move its disc to neutral position before dropping the seating disc to move dirt out of the way. It will use the hobby gear motors to raise and lower the discs. Then, the robot will utilize a servo to open and close a lid on the bottom of the robot, which allows seeds to drop down from the container on top of the robot in timed intervals as the robot moves forward. It will move forward continuously after the discs have been lowered and raised. Once the ultrasonic distance detector detects a end of rod, end of row rod, it will trigger the robot to turn and will trigger it to stop dropping seeds. First, the robot will turn to the left, then it will turn to the right. This is to prevent the robot from turning in circles. After the robot turns 2 times or after it dispenses seeds 15 times, the robot will exit the seeding state and await commands. The third function of the robot is fertilizing. Once the robot is positioned in the correct row, the operator will press the number 6 button to start the fertilizing operation. However, the fertilizing operation is much the same as the seeding operation. They are exactly identical, except that instead of using the two top servo and gear motors, the fertilizing operation will use the hobby gear motor at the bottom and the servo at the bottom, as they are the fertilizer servo and gear motor. The fourth function of the robot is to take soil samples for later analysis. Once the robot is positioned in the correct row, the operator will press button number 7 to start the soil sampling operation. First, the robot will move its disc up to prevent friction against the dirt as it moves. Then it will collect one sample from the ground before beginning to move forward until it reaches the end of the row. When it reaches the end of the row, it will turn 180 degrees and then it will take another sample. The robot will alternate between turning left and right. It will turn 3 times and then it will shut down. Every time it turns, it will take a sample. All the operator needs to do to utilize this robot is to use the remote control button 0 through 4 to position the robot in the correct position of the desired row of the garden. Then they will use the buttons 5, 6, or 7 to select either the seeding, fertilizing, or soil sampling operation. After that, all the rest of the actions are controlled by the Arduino and the appropriate coding, which can be seen here.